to the Awake Nation guest interviews with guests who defy the mainstream narrative. Grab a cup of coffee while our guests read the news for you. The Awake Nation, the truth with a shot of espresso. The Mockingbird Media controls the narrative. We help you determine what is real and what is not.
Global conspiracies, key players, the highest levels of power, reaches into the lives of every man, woman, and child on this planet.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no Satans. Friday, February 16, 2024, our guests are Paul Dale Roberts. Paul Dale Roberts is a Fortean investigator investigating all things paranormal, from UFOs to ghosts to demons to cryptids. He is an author of over 73 paranormal-themed books. Roberts is also a journalist for Phenomenon Magazine, Close Fit Times, Outer Limits Magazine, and Paranormal Underground Magazine. Our next guest is Skip Press. Skip Press is a screenwriter, novelist, producer who has edited a Hollywood entertainment magazine, produced and directed plays, made instructional videos, and sold feature film scripts. Skip served as the Hollywood correspondent for Boys Life and was a staff writer for a UPN kids show. Skip is also a former staff member for the Scientology Celebrity Center who escaped from Scientology. He has nearly 50 books published. Our next guest is Mark Matheny, Sig Semper Tyrannis News Podcast. Mark is a U.S. veteran, Messianic Jew, an independent investigative journalist and podcaster. Mark reports on geopolitical events that are culminating in a world government scenario. He breaks down the biblical and spiritual aspects of current events.
The big thing I kept saying was they're going to try to use January 6th as a pretext to then say Trump was the mastermind behind it, and try to get him for somehow carrying out this so-called insurrection, which is now being basically exposed for what it really was, a Fedsurrection.
Our next guest is Tanya Joy Gibson, Beauty for Ashes, Tanya Joy Show, Tanya Joy TV, Coffee Talk with Esther. Tanya is a former Miss Illinois. She's a podcaster, a singer, an actress, a speaker, and an activist for Jesus.
Anyway, hang tight. Thanks for being with us. Remember, you can support the show, find out more about us over at tanyajoy.tv. Again,
Rounding out the final hour of the radiation is Susie Q's White Horse Production. Susie is a world-cutting champion and owner of a horse ranch and event center. She's an entrepreneur who escaped being murdered by serial killers Otis Toole and Henry Lee Lucas. She is currently working on her memoirs. You can find Susie Q on the Dark Outpost, where she delivers hot shots of intel. You can also find Susie at her arena, Joel's Indoor Arena and Event Center, located in Atlanta, Texas. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dark Outpost at darkoutpost.tv. There you will find exclusive content, interviews, documentaries, and intel not found anywhere else. You can find us on Rumble at the David Zublik channel and watch us live at theawakenation.com. Falling down the rabbit hole can hurt. Ow, 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 ow. That's gonna hurt. We will provide the researchers and whistleblowers. Your mission is to discern the truth from the MSN lies. And now for the interview portion of the Awake Nation. And awake we go with a shot of espresso. It's showtime.
Indeed, showtime. Right, joining us now is Paul Dale Roberts. And my favorite guest. Well, it's like Friday worth living.
Oh, Oh my God! And then this morning, Penny was busy teaching me how to use the computer.
Yes, I thought it was, I was,
Command of fish will eat forever.
but I was watching her walk you through it, so that's good.
Oh yeah, I was stumbling just like Biden.
Never that bad. Never that bad.
I didn't know which way to go.
But I am going to ask you to take a cognitive test. Oh, okay. You get past the flying
So
colors.
you're going to talk to us today about a fascinating aspect of your life, not spooky, but kind of spooky, in regards to when you did your disco. What? Can
Yeah.
you tell us what that was?
We're going to talk about something abnormal. Okay, something not paranormal, but abnormal. I danced 205 hours, 8.5 days of disco dancing. And I was the 3rd and 5th disco king of Sacramento. And I was actually, too, the very first person to attempt a disco record by dancing 79 hours. And I thought I had the Guinness Book of World Records, and come to find out, I didn't, because my breaks were too long. They were 15 minutes long. So Guinness says, no, you don't have the world's record. Your breaks were too long. You can only do 5 minutes on every hour. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so the newspapers came up to me. I actually had some like paparazzi going on during that time.
What year was this?
1979. Oh wait, the 79 hours was 77, and the 205 hours was 1979.
Did you make it to the Guinness World Record book?
I was for the short time I had the Guinness Book of World Records, but also too I was in Ripley's Believe It or Not. So you'll see those. In fact, Penny, you can go ahead and throw the photos, and I'll start telling the story. Oh, well, that's me with a big old afro back in the disco days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Oh, you were a real ladies' man back then.
Yep, very good looking. Here it says Disco Marathon. I'm going to try and make this. Let me just see if I can make this a little bit bigger for everyone. I can't get to the bottom of this.
Huh.
There we go. Okay. So this is Paul Roberts above with partner Leah Waters will attempt to break the world's disco dancing record of 160 hours this weekend at Country Club Plaza. He will take money pledges for each hour he dances. This benefit for Easter seals.
And check this out, Penny and David. I started off at the Country Club Plaza. Well, the 79 hours was actually at a nightclub. That was at the Ritz, or it was called Gold Mine Shaft. And so I did 79 hours there. The 205 hours I did at the Country Club Plaza, which is a mall. And they transported me in a van where I had to have witnesses watch me dance inside the van. And
Oh my God!
Yes, and they transported me to the Sacramento Civic Center for Easter seals with Jerry Lewis. And yeah, I had to dance inside that van.
So if the van was rocking, don't come a knocking.
Oh, it was rocking, David. Yes.
Okay, let me make this one a little bit smaller so we can. Okay. He may own the world boogieing record, 72 hours. Though the music had stopped, Paul Roberts was still boogieing Monday night after 72 hours, to the point at which he claimed to have set the world record for disco dancing. I feel great, Paul said. He admitted, however, that he couldn't remember how to stop his feet. The 23 happy feet. The 23-year-old state employee and his girlfriend, Kathy Kleber, is it Kleber?
Kleber.
21, started boogieing at 8 p.m. Friday at the Ritz in Old Sacramento. There wasn't an official world record for disco dancing, and they wanted to set one. Paul decided 72 hours would be an appropriate stint because it just popped into my head. It was an inspiration he thought of, said Kathy, and he made it work. By night, the couple danced to music by the band Kashmir and the vocalist Ramona Owen. They were boosted by dozens of friends and family members. my day with the Ritz clothes and a lone disc jockey to spur them on. Cashmere, what song do you remember?
I don't know. I can't remember back that far.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah, I just had a Biden moment.
That's all right. It doesn't matter. That's fantastic.
Well, you know,
Right?
check this out. Yeah, Kathy Kleiber. Okay, she went into convulsions.
What?
And her legs, they became like elephant legs. They swelled up. And they had an emergency ambulance there, so they had to rush her to the hospital. And then some other guy, he was trying to compete with me for the world's record, and at 80 hours, he fell flat on his face.
Holy moly!
Yeah. And when
And you're just a boogieing fool, right?
oh yeah, check this out. When I was ready to fall, they had this big German woman, and she would come up there and start slow dancing with me, and where I can get my energy back up. And then I said, you can let me go now. And boom, I just start freelancing.
Good God.
That is awesome.
Okay, here's another one. His disco fever isn't cured yet. Paul Roberts has evidently never heard of the Ides of March. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I have to stop for just 1 second. My keyboard player was in the band The Ides of March.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So, I went. He was blind. He's the only one on the album he's blind, but he has his eyes open on the one they did On Your Vehicle. And so I used to have to take him and walk him through. I'm just going to move this for just a sec. So I used to have to take him and walk him through the club because he was blind, but he wasn't. He was kind of like Stevie Wonder. All right, everyone thinks Stevie Wonder is stone blind, but he's not. He has what's called shadow vision. So when I would take him and walk him through the club, and I would ask him, "How do you know when they give you money? How do you know what amount of money they're giving you?" And he says, "Well, I fold it in a special way." And I say, "Well, how do you dress? Because you always you're always dressed very well." And he said, "It's like Garanimals. He has numbers sewn into his socks and his shirts and his coats, so that he could." And so he used to. I remember him telling me, "Well, you can get dressed back here." And I said, "No, that's not going to happen. You have shadow vision, and he has like 12 kids, so." I just thought that was
when he dresses. He goes number 1, and then he goes number 2.
right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta get to that point. Oh my God, yeah, hit the next picture up, Penny. But you're gonna love the number 1s and number 2s.
Did you want to read this article?
Oh, no. We can
No? Okay.
no, because I got some better stories. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay. And see, the Ripley's, believe it or not, if that's in there. Yeah, David. Yeah, I was actually in Ripley's, believe it or not, too. I think
That's fantastic.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one right there.
This one?
Yeah, there we go. That's me right in the middle there. Ripley's, believe it or not.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Look, David.
Yeah, I see.
Can I see? Let's make it a little bit bigger.
Now check this out. When I was dancing, if I wanted to do a number 1, I had witnesses follow me to the bathroom, watching me urinate, and I had to keep my feet dancing.
Okay.
Yes. And I had witnesses also too. They would feed me on the dance floor. So I had to eat on the dance floor and keep my feet moving. Now, if I needed to do a number 2, I had to do it during my 5-minute break.
Oh boy!
And we had live bands that volunteered to play music. We had DJs that volunteered to play music. So for the 8.5 days, I had all this music. after I was the Disco King and I had the Guinness Book World Records for a short time, I joined Jeff Kutash's dancing machine in Harris, Tahoe. And so I was performing with them, and we were the first number to share when she was going solo over at Harris, Tahoe. So I met her. I met Monty Rock III. He was the DJ in Saturday Night Fever. Wolfman Jack. And you're going to love this one. So they sent me down to Hollywood thinking I was going to be a big movie star because I had the Guinness Book World Records. The news went all over the place. It was in a German magazine. It was in San Diego newspapers and everything. So I was well recognized. And so I went down to Hollywood thinking I'm going to be a big star. So I tried out for American Bandstand, and they said I was...
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they said I was too old. I tried
They
out...
said you were too old? What was the age?
I don't know. I was like... At that time, I think I was like 23 years old.
Wasn't that Dick Clark?
They wanted teenagers.
Yeah, they wanted teenagers. A bunch of pedophiles. And so...
Yes.
Oh my God. And then I tried out for the Gong Show, and they said it wasn't funny enough.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Gong Show guy wasn't funny either. Chuck Barris.
No.
He wasn't funny.
And then
He was CIA though.
And then I was an extra in Roller Boogie in Skate Town, USA, and I did a commercial over there for the movie Thank God It's Friday. And what was kind of unique about it, if you saw the movie, the nightclub looks like it's huge, but actually in reality it's very small. The outside of it is very small. It's very small inside. But on the movie there was a sound stage, so you thought this place, which actually exists in Los Angeles, was huge, but it wasn't. So as I came back to Sacramento and I wasn't in Hollywood. Oh, wait, I'm forgetting one more thing. I went to Palm Springs and I was supposed to audition for another commercial, and I was sitting next to a person who was not well known yet. His name was Dennis Farina.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I liked him.
So
he died too young. He was a good actor.
But here he was, okay, in Hollywood, and he's going to be making movies and all this. But when we were talking, I was bragging about me being the Disco King, and that I was going to be in movies and everything else. I was bragging, I was being egotistical, and come to find out, I didn't make it. But then, like a couple years later, I'm watching Dennis Farina playing the Hillside Strangler, and I go, here's a guy who didn't brag, and he's a big star now. So,
apparently he was a Chicago police detective.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah, and then he played one on a TV series. It was a very like quirky TV show. And then at one point he was one of the hosts that followed Robert Stack in hosting Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh,
He was FBI agent Jack Crawford in Manhunter. Also starred in Midnight Run. Was Ray Bones Barboni and Get Shorty. Was Cousin Abby in Snatch. Crime Story. He started on television as Lieutenant Mike Torello and on Crime Story as NYPD Detective Joe Fontana on Law and Order.
Oh my God. Oh, and I gotta tell you, in 1979, after I was this big disco king, I got booed off stage because disco died.
What year was that?
1979. I got booed off stage. I didn't even know what was going on. I go, why am I getting booed? And come to find out, they blew up a bunch of disco records at the stadium, and disco died, and so my Disco King thing died too. But then I joined the Army back in 1979. I re-upped, went to Korea, and they said, oh my God, they said, you're the Disco King and all this. I go, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I go, yeah, but disco's dead. They said, oh my God, Paul, you need to go to the Sportsman's Club because this Puerto Rican guy thinks he's all that. And I go, disco's dead. He goes, you're in Korea. Disco just started. I
Oh,
go,
wow.
yeah. So I'm over there making disco movies in Korea. And I beat the Puerto Rican guy. I went over there.
Disco never really died anyway.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It had, I sang like all of the different
They still do it today.
genres.
It branched out into things like techno, but
Yes.
it's still dance music,
And when I was the Disco King, I had access to 3 Rolls Royces. Club Lido was the Grand Island Mansion. They would loan me their Rolls Royce going to nightclubs. And these 2 private citizens, one owned a nightclub, and they would loan me a Rolls Royce. And I would take my entourage.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my disco career.
Well, listen, that is, and this is just for you, by the way. This is for you, Paul. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Believe it or not.
Remember that show? They had
Oh my God, that's right. That's so funny.
Well, that's now today. Do you still dance today? I mean,
No.
I don't mean competitively, obviously, but
No.
do you? No.
No. The
Not
last time
dance at all?
the last time I went to the stage, I started going left. Then I got confused, and I started going to my right. And then they had to help me down stage.
Not the stage, Paul.
We're not going to see you on Dancing with the Stars. Or
No.
Okay.
My dancing career, now I'm a paranormal investigator, so.
What if you ran into a dancing ghost?
Right? I was thinking the same thing.
We've actually tried to entice spirits with music, and sometimes it actually works.
Wow.
Yes, they say that demons are attracted to drums.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
because the drum is the drum beat. I think it's 120. Is emulation of the human heartbeat.
Well, that's true. There is something to that. I never thought about it. So that was you were actually a star in a different venue at one point.
Yeah. I had a really crazy life because I went into the military, was a military cop. I got out, I started doing the disco thing, and I learned how to dance by working undercover narcotics with CID, Criminal Investigation Division, in Germany when I was in the Army, 73, 76. And then 76, 79, that's when I did all the disco thing. And then I went back into the service in 1979, military intelligence. So I did that. And then when I got out, in 1986, I was doing comic books, interviewing people like William Shatner, because William Shatner had comic books, so I was in the comic book industry, and then got into the paranormal.
What were William Shatner's comic books?
They were just science fiction, and he was really trying
Did he create them?
Huh?
Did he create them?
Yeah, yes, he was like the writer to these comics, and he had different artists, and
he didn't draw them, but he wrote them. He's a prolific author.
Oh yeah, he's something
Shatner's
else.
written a lot of science fiction novels. He's really into science fiction.
Oh yeah, and you try to get an interview with William Shatner now, and forget it. But when he had his comics, he was so proud of it. So when I asked him, I said, William, can I go ahead and do an email interview with you? He goes, yeah, absolutely, I would love it. And that's what I did. And then Kiss had comic books, and Gene, that guy with the tongue, what's his name?
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, Gene Simmons, yeah. Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, who told everybody if they didn't wear a mask that they were traitors to humanity and they should be shot.
Yeah.
Something to that.
Yeah, Gene Simmons sent me an email thanking me for reviewing his comic book. Yeah, Kiss had comic books too.
Well, that's fantastic. So this could spawn a new television series. A crime scene investigation disco unit.
It dances. Right? He dances at the crime scene. He dances around while he's trying to figure it out, like Monk had all of his
Here's what happened, baby.
Oh my God.
Do you have any quick paranormals? We have a few minutes left. Any
Oh.
weird stuff?
Yeah, we had a call from San Jose. No, Los Banos, California. And this guy has like poltergeist activity and everything else. So I was trying to send my team down there to check it out. But come to find out, one of the people that I trained here in Sacramento lives in Los Banos. So it was so convenient, so he went ahead and took it over. They have some film footage where the door's opening by itself, closing by itself. Things in the cabinet are moved around. There was a plate that fell out of the cabinet and broke and shattered on the kitchen floor. They've seen shadow apparitions and everything else. And I explained to them how to do a self-blessing. So they did a self-blessing. Things have simmered down some, but that one door keeps on opening by itself and closing by itself. So I'm not sure. They said that right now they're not being terrorized, but with the help of the San Jose Paranormal Group and my instructions on how to bless the house, things are getting back to normal.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, tell people where everybody can find you, and I know it's all over the place because you're just about everywhere.
Easy, just
except the dance floor.
Yeah, except on the dance floor. Yeah, just Bing, Google Paul Dale Roberts, and if you want to see any of my books, Paul Dale Roberts books, and if you buy one of my books, I'll love you forever. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. Penny, David, always love being on the show. It's full of energy. I love it.
Well, you know what? We love having you on the show, and just to kind of bring back a few memories, we'll play a little music before we going out here. Let's see if you like this.
We can't hear it. There we go.
Yeah, I hear it.
This should get you in the mood. Paul Dale Roberts, you're on the Awake Nation. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, Paul. Had to get that music going out here. All right, we're gonna take. Oh my God, it's Friday. It is Friday. Thank God I'm going out. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna get serious again. Are we ever serious? Not completely.
No.